be rolling. It'd be all things be back to in balance again. Okay. That's without the human being here. You know, the earth got enough sense to know who's causing the problem. The earth is alive. It's a living organism. People can say what they want. I believe it's alive, and I'm pretty sure it is. And it's got sense too. And that's why we're getting all of these floods of biblical proportions, fires of biblical proportions. We're getting 100-year floods every 5 years, and they might start every year. They have, you know, them tree lines. It says the lines in the trees said it ain't been this hot in so many 100 years, you know. And now it's popping up, you know, I guess the rings on the trees now, boy, they having a field day, you know. Anyway, how do we fit in here? We fit in here by understanding that. And if we understand it, I think we're commissioned to do as much as we can about it. So, changing societal functional happiness, since that's supposed to be one of the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Okay. Well, if you're happy, you got everything that fits into, you know. But now all the stuff that they did then, those were environmental. And this is what people keep forgetting. The Constitution was produced in a certain environment. We did programs on, what's that old governor of Virginia? Give me liberty and give me death. Patrick Henry. Old Patrick. Yeah. Give me liberty or give me death. That was based on their environmental circumstances. We supplicated to the king. We did all of this, right? And he's still just acting a fool. Okay, that was their environment. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness was what they wanted at that time. And they wrote it down. They go, that this is what we believe that life is about. But life now may be the highest thing for life is to bring balance and happiness back to the environment. That might be the thing now. Okay. So, but the people are still being taught stuff that's 200-300 years old, right? And they're living off of that, and they don't want you to, they got a constitution, they got them people sitting there in them black robes trying to keep people's mind back then. And in those days, to send man forward, the evolution of government, right, and all of that. That's what they were saying then, but now they done got what they wanted, and they want to keep it like that. But keeping it like that keeps the people in a new neo-slavery. So what the world is in is a slavery, a 21st century slavery. And getting ready to get worse to where they're non-essential. Non-essential. And the people is helping themselves become non-essential, that's who they do. Hey, man. Now, if you don't think they're crazy, you think about it for just a little while. Related transitional standards. Transitional standards, but related. Now, we live in a time where we got to concoct related transitional standards. Now, basically, the party is over. The party is over. Our party is over. I don't know. I've been at a just wonderful party. But that party is over. Allah was just letting me party, cruise along. The little fitna of the white man, that little childish fitna, that's stupid. There ain't nothing. Maybe it'd stop everybody else. But now, related transitional standards. We have to come up, see, it ain't just me and you. All of us got children and grandchildren, right? Okay. Leave him to boss man then. Let boss man have him. He know what to do with they behind. Boss man, look here. Put your life in the white man's hands. He's safe. Like all state, they safe with boss man. Hey, right? Tell the truth. Your family is safe. Your old people, all of them, they safe in boss man's hands. Safe as they can be. Can't get no safer. All state, safe hands. So there's a chance. There's no guarantee on this. Related transitional standards. We have to reform periodic transitional stages because now things accelerate so fast that you can't make permanent plans for this is the way the world will be. Okay, we'll have 10-year transitional periods. We may have to cut them down to 5. And we may have to have different sections in the world. You want to live in the 20th century, you could live over there, this wonderful world. And you live in the 20th century. You know, you drive kind of 20th century, the technology, right, in this world right now. We can do that. Yeah, you want to live like, say, the Amish. They grow good food, they do all of that. And they drive them buggies up and down the street. You can see them all in Ohio, Pennsylvania, you know. Right, there's a couple out there in Maryland. They hold up all the traffic, driving the horses down. It's okay. But now, this has been in my mind for decades. Why do we have to live in one time zone now or moving toward the future? Why? We can't, different states, different regions, and you can voluntarily go. I want to go to the mid-20th century area. You go to the mid-20th century area where they have cars and tractors. The tractors are not these big super Conda. They're like they was, two big wheels in the back and the little wheel in front from the 50s, right? And you have TVs, black and white TVs. Now you can have people smuggling in color TVs and stuff, you know, across the border from the people living in the 21st or the 22nd century, right? And there'll be a little smuggling going on to the people living in the real horse and buggy. We want to live in the 17th century, the 18th century, except for medicine, right? You don't have to get bled and get, you know, stuff like that, you know. I mean, you could get regular treatment, keep you alive. And you don't have to have all, you know, you used to need a big family. Everybody go put to work, you feed them for a while, but they go to work fast. Like, you know, like children, they 6 or 7. I know when I was in the country, I left when I was 6, but I still had a few little things to do. If I'd been around at 8 or 9, my brothers, and at 13, man, my brother did regular grown folks work. You know, you did work. That's what you did on the farm. You know what I mean? You didn't like, well, I'll go to work out. First I go to school. Yeah, you go to school for a couple of hours a day, but you get your butt home. Why you think they got to, can you imagine we're still on a 200 or 300-year-old agricultural schedule for the summer? Why? Remember in the summer, the spring, all the stuff grow, and what do? At the end of the summer, you harvest, right? And it's too hot to be in school anyway. Now they got air conditioning. Why are you still in school? Why are you out of school? Because we're on an agricultural schedule right now. 1,000 years, well, it ain't 1,000. 100 years ago might as well be 1,000 years ago. Well, 100 years ago was kind of 100. Okay, let me speed up. Related transitional standards. Why can't we live in the world that we want to live in? And in a time where, hey, I'm going to live, I dug that early 20th century. I'm going to go over there for the next 10 years. And you could sign up to be, I want to transfer to, right? And in 6 months, right? Why not? Is that Brave New World? That's by that man, yeah, but he was back in the third, and he 1984 that's 1984, good God Almighty, that guy had everybody in the penitentiary. I've heard about Brave New, I never read it. Why not? Why not that type of thing, right? Yeah, but why if we got 50 states in here, why don't we have each state choose what era they want to live?
The only difference was those for the crackpots.
Right.
The places that you're talking about having were like vacation places to go to. So so they would have a section like that in different eras. But the people who lived in the dystopic period,
Right.
or the reality,
Right.
those would be their vacation destinations.
Okay, the people who lived in dystopia,
Right.
they could go to.
Everything was mechanized and routine.
Right.
They would choose to go to different period destinations.
For vacation. But they had people that had lived in those. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Well, we have a world we could do with it what we want. It's just that you can't have one group of people. Concentration of wealth is serious. It gets more and more concentrated every day. Pretty soon, it'll be one big company. It's close to that now, might as well be. Yeah, 4 or 5, whatever it is. Okay, so if we're dreamers, so what? Isn't that what the world is made out of? Dreams? What the hell, who wants to live in that crap? Excuse my language. It's unbelievable. It's not necessary. Okay. Cut grass, fundraisers boxes, Titanic, Lusitania, Sussex. I don't know if the world we're living in right this minute reminds us of, when you read history, of pre-World War One. Pre-World War One, they had the Triple Alliance. Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria, Hungary, for a while Italy was in it. They were the Triple Alliance, and then that was a Triple Entente. Later on, the Turks got in it when Italy stepped out, and they got in the Triple Alliance with the guys that lost World War, with the Germans and everything. The Triple Entente, which actually was more technically France, England, later on the U.S., and so they formed their alliance. And it was similar to 1939 when Poland was attacked by Germany. Since Poland was attacked by Germany, Poland had a treaty with the U.S., with the the British and the French. So they had to declare war on Germany. We live in that period right now. This is a post that the people don't look at it. This is a period when all you hear is about we got NATO, we got this, and we got that, and everybody's in their crew. Okay, now I tell you, this would have happened decades ago, it would have been more uncomfortable. We're relatively comfortable right now because the team we talked about all the time, Russia, China, Iran, Yemen, Syria, right, and others. And the majority of the world sitting on the fence, don't want to be bothered. If you talk about ASEAN,